What is up, my kings and queens? It's your man Cash is King. Today we're going to be showing you the correct way to receive and store modded aircrafts using the give cars to friends glitch. Alright, and so if you guys have watched the first and second video to this series of how to correctly manipulate your special vehicle slots and to receive and store a modded AA trailer, you will be prepared to continue to receive your special vehicles. Alright, and the setup that I have and that I suggest that you have at all times is to have a unique motorcycle stored in the back of your MOC. Alright, and if you watch the video, you'll know that I have my Carbon RS, and so I'm just going to be requesting that personal vehicle out of my MOC. And as you can see, I'm here at Give Cars to Friends, and I've got my mobile operations center already set up for me to receive, as well as my friend here with a modded airplane. Alright, and so I'm already glitched out and ready to receive. And while we go through this process in this tutorial, I'm going to be taking a little bit of time to actually explain how we are manipulating our vehicle slots, what to be mindful of so that you can keep track of your vehicle slots as you manipulate them, and how we will correctly receive and store them, which is unique and not your typical give cars to friends method. Alright, and so I know a lot of you guys through times have received modded aircrafts, and you have thought the whole time that as long as you had a full hangar that you were safe and that you would be storing and receiving these aircrafts properly. Alright, and I'm going to tell you that that is wrong. If you have ever received modded planes and flown them into your hangar, whether your hangar was full or not, you have dead slots because of this action. Alright, when you fly a modded plane and you have received it with an elegy onto a personal vehicle slot, and you take it into your hangar and you get the full alert, you know what happens when you get the full alert. You are pushing vehicles out of the location to make room for the vehicle that you are taking in. And this is why you have been duplicating planes into the back of your MOC and your hangar, is because the plane that you push out of your hangar is actually on a aircraft slot, and then you purchase an elegy over that plane because it's a duplicate version, and now you have a car on an aircraft slot. And when you use that elegy to receive your modded car, you are going to have modded cars into your MOC on an aircraft slot that you will push into your garages, and through time of keeping those cars, you will lose that slot. And let's say for some reason that you decide to get rid of this car, maybe you've purchased over it in the past, done some duplication glitches, and now it's time for you to sell a car to make some money. And once you sell the car from that slot will be empty, the vehicle removed from it, and because it is an aircraft slot that is not free to move back to the hangar, it will stay inside of your garages as a dead slot. And you cannot buy any personal vehicles to an aircraft slot when it is empty, and therefore you will not be able to buy a vehicle inside of that garage. The only vehicle that you would be able to buy to that slot would be an aircraft, but because you cannot buy aircrafts to your garages, you will not be able to fill that slot. Alright? And so, in order to prevent this wild mess of slot manipulation that has been created for a lot of you guys, we are going to talk about how to correctly receive and store these aircrafts. Alright, and so some of this you guys will be familiar with. It is a method that does copy and follow the process of special vehicles, as aircraft slots are targeted vehicles with a specific identity and a specific location that they belong. And so these fall under the same circumstances and guidelines of a special vehicle slot. Alright, and so I'm just going to go ahead and to have my friend get on and hold the pause menu so that I can go through with the give cars to friends glitch. As I hit right D-pad, you'll notice I'm frozen, but I did not get the full alert because this motorcycle was stored in the back of my MOC. Once I have been prevented from entering by my friend and it kicks him off, you can go ahead and drive away and return this bike to storage. Alright, and we want that in the back of our MOC. We're going to be pushing that motorcycle out of the way, and we need to now choose a slot and a location for that motorcycle to go to, and also a slot to tie to our character in order for us to receive this mod aircraft. Now, what I'll do is hold up my interaction menu and go through my vehicles list and find my request personal aircraft options. And if you remember watching the first video, you'll know that I have 5 aircraft in my hangar, not 20. My hangar is not full, and I only have 5 slots that are unlocked and available to use to me. Alright, and I still have one, the original Cuban 800, and 4 other ultralights. Alright, so I'm just going to request out one of these ultralights onto the map, and it'll take about 10 seconds for it to appear. But as soon as it does appear and that vehicle is registered onto the map, we will notice that we can see its tracker. And this little interaction allows us to know that that aircraft has been tied to our personal vehicle slot. Alright, and because this slot is tied to our character, when we enter alone and we're placed in the state of invisible, we are in limbo and can teleport a new vehicle into the MOC with us. And with that new vehicle that we will be taking into the MOC, we will also be carrying the slot that is attributed to the aircraft that's on the map now, as it is tied to our personal vehicle slot. Okay, and because that aircraft came from the hangar and that is its storage location, when I receive this new modded aircraft and pull that slot from the hangar with me into the MOC, I will be forcing the personal vehicle slot with my unique motorcycle and the MOC into my hangar. Alright, and remember, I do not have a full hangar at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead, get my Franklin alert, and enter alone. After you come out of the black screen, you can go ahead and get in the vehicle. Now you could quickly see on the mini-map my aircraft was still there, and after a short second it has finally despawned. I have successfully tied a new vehicle to that slot, and I have pulled that aircraft slot into the back of my MOC while successfully pushing the motorcycle into the hangar. Alright, and I did get cops because of the explosion, so I'm going to have to call Lester to lose them. Alright, and so now that you come out and you've successfully received the airplane, you have pulled that slot into the MOC with you with the aircraft, and now if you check your motorcycle club, you should see that you still have your unique motorcycle on your list as it is parked in your hangar. Alright, and so at this point you can go ahead and call that unique motorcycle back out, and we will need this motorcycle in order for us to get the full alert. The whole reason why we had to push this motorcycle into the hangar was because the only way for us to get the full alert at the back of the MOC is for us to be able to use a vehicle that can actually push the type of vehicle that is stored there into its location. Alright, and because of the aircrafts do not belong in any other location except for the hangar, the only way we're going to get the full alert is if we have a vehicle to use that is first stored there. We can't obviously drive any vehicles into the hangar and store them there by choice, and so what we have just done is forced pushed this vehicle into our hangar. Alright, and the only way to do that and force push a personal vehicle into your hangar is to push the slot that is attributed to that vehicle and extract one of your aircraft slots so that you can make room for it. So at this point I have 19 aircraft slots in my hangar and one personal vehicle slot in my hangar with a motorcycle on it. My 20th aircraft slot is currently stored with the dodo that I just received from my friend in the back of the MOC. Okay, and so if I'm ready and I'm done and just have completed my trades and I will be receiving no more aircraft, I can just have my friend get on the bike and help me to use the give cars to friends glitch to receive my own vehicle. Alright, but me, I'm going to receive a couple of more planes and I'm going to be doing them using a fast-paced method. Okay, and so I'm just going to have my friend to go get another plane for me while I wait, and we'll be back in just one moment. So as you can see, my friend is back with the plane now, since he so kindly took the pole out and got me in the face. But now that he is back, I let him take my motorcycle for a ride, so I'm going to go ahead and request it back to me. Alright, now this is the motorcycle that's from our hangar. It is the unique motorcycle that we call our push vehicle and leave stored in the back of our MOC. And at this point, we just need to use this for the full alert. So I'm going to have my friend get on the back of this motorcycle while I hit right D-pad, and this time you'll notice I get the full alert. Alright, and that means that it has accepted the slot identity of the vehicle and the location that it comes from, so I will just accept this alert, and you will be frozen as your friend is paused, and this will prevent you from entering your MOC. And now we have put our personal vehicle slot in a state of limbo, so I'm just going to go ahead and return that unique motorcycle back to storage in the hangar where it was stored. I'm not quite ready to finish receiving planes, so I just need to choose to tie another slot to my character. And because I'm going to be receiving a modded aircraft, I need to make sure that that slot that is tied to my personal vehicle slot is actually an aircraft slot, okay? And so I'll call out another ultralight to lose, and after about 5 to 10 seconds you should see it flicker and appear on your mini map. You can go ahead and press pause to make sure that it's actually spawned, and this vehicle must spawn in before you enter alone. Alright, but now that that vehicle is on the map, and it is the last vehicle that is going to be on the map, I'm ready to enter alone, and I can go ahead and replace the vehicle that is on that slot with a modded vehicle from my friend, and I will again be pulling that slot into the MOC with me, and this time I will be pushing the first aircraft that I had received on the aircraft slot in the back of my MOC into the hangar. And so I'm just rinsing and repeating this process, and I can continue to receive modded aircrafts. Alright, and since I got blown up on this one and happened to be in the black screen, I'm just going to have my friend go into his apartment that's right here at Give Cars to Friends, and he's going to send me an apartment invite. And at this point, even though I've received the vehicle, you can still see that I do have the ultralight on my mini map, and the vehicle has not totally been separated from the slot yet. And so once I get the apartment invite from my friend and I accept it, I should clear the map and be taken out of my MOC. This will allow my MOC to stay with my player character and not be returned to storage, but now that vehicle has disappeared from my minimap. And so that slot has went with the new aircraft that I've received from my friend, and I have it safely stored in the back of my MOC with a new vehicle on top of that slot. Alright, and I push that first plane, the Dodo, out of my MOC while receiving that. And so, if I'd like to receive another plane, I can go ahead and call that unique motorcycle back out from my hangar so that I can have my friend to help me get glitched out and receive another aircraft. And so I'm just going to wait here and have my friend to go get me another aircraft to receive. Alright, so now that my friend is here with the next aircraft for me to receive, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure to request that unique motorcycle back again, as I allowed him to take it so that he could go to pick up his aircraft. As you know that you can only have an aircraft and a personal vehicle on the map at one time. You cannot have them out together. So my friend is just going to get back on my bike again, and we'll go ahead and rinse and repeat the process. I'll hit right D-pad, and because this vehicle came from the hangar, I will get the full alert so that I can press X, and once I press X, I will be frozen. My friend will be removed from my vehicle. I can go ahead and return this vehicle to storage. Once I return that vehicle to storage, I can request out another aircraft in an aircraft slot to tie to my personal vehicle slot with my character, so that when I enter alone, come out invisible and take my friend's aircraft, I will be overriding the vehicle to that slot and replacing it with a modded version. Alright, and you can see the little prompt that my aircraft has been delivered, and I can also see it on my mini map. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the Franklin alert and enter alone.
And now I will be ready to continue to receive aircrafts.
Alright, so that time we got out pretty quickly. I'm just going to go ahead and call out my unique motorcycle one more time, so I can allow my friend to take it and go grab me another aircraft to receive. Alright, and so now our friend is back with our next modded aircraft. I'm just going to have him drop it off, and I'll request my motorcycle once again. We can go right back in to receiving planes. Go ahead and get the full alert and accept it. Once your friend is removed from the vehicle, we're placed in a state of limbo once again. We can return the motorcycle to storage and request out another aircraft with the slot that we would like to lose. And as you can see, I only have one other ultralight in Cuban 800, and so we're almost done here. Now that my cooldown timer went away, you can see the ultralight in the Cuban, and I'll request the ultralight, as I'm going to save the Cuban 800 for last, and I will discuss the importance of keeping that Cuban 800 around. Once again, I'll quickly call that unique motorcycle out for my friend so that he can go ahead and get me another aircraft to receive. And this will be the last aircraft that we receive for the day. Now, as you can see, I was killed by the cops, but my friend is here with a new plane. I'm going to go ahead and request my Carbon RS out so that I can receive it. This is that unique motorcycle that's been stored inside of my MOC this whole time, or my hangar this whole time. Okay? I'm just going to have my friend to get on and hold the pause menu so that I can get glitched out at the back of my MOC. And because this is from my hangar, again, when I go to the back of my MOC, I should get the full alert even though I have a plane stored in there. And so I can feel free to return this vehicle to storage, and because I'm receiving a plane, I have to have an aircraft slot tied to my character. So the last plane that I have for me to lose is the Cuban 800, which was the original plane that was given to me in the beginning. Alright, and so now that I request this vehicle out, I'll know that I have no more open and available slots afforded to me because I haven't purchased any more vehicles. And so now that my personal aircraft has arrived, I'll get the Franklin alert and enter alone, and I can feel safe receiving this aircraft from my friend. And this way I will know that I will not have any dead slots, and I shouldn't have any issues in the future when it comes to purchasing vehicles in vehicle storage locations, or making sure that I can have 20 modded airplanes in my hangar. Alright, so as you can see, the Alchemist is quite big and it's thrown me under the map, and so I'll be at the docks, but I'm just gonna quickly have my friend to send me an apartment invite so that I can teleport back to give cars to friends without having to travel, and this apartment invite will allow my MOC to stay on the map with me. Alright, and we are almost done here. Alright, so now that we're outside, you can see our friends here waiting for us. So I'm just going to request that unique motorcycle that I have stored in my hangar. And now I'm ready and done receiving aircrafts, and I'd like to pull that personal vehicle out of my hangar and push that final aircraft on the aircraft slot out of my MOC into the hangar where it belongs. Alright, and so I'm just going to go ahead and get on this bike, and now that we are done trading, I will actually be giving this motorcycle to myself to complete the circle. Okay? Perfect. Alright, now we are right back where we started. We have the unique motorcycle on the personal vehicle slot that we began with, back in the MOC, and we have successfully received 5 modded aircrafts from our friends without getting unglitched and without having to leave session, and because we did not fly these aircrafts into our hangar and did not get the full alert or fly it into an empty hangar, we did not push our slots out. We have all of our slots tied to aircrafts, and when I check my vehicles list, you can see that I should have 5 aircrafts. Alright, and we have the Bessera, the Alchemist, the Volume, the Dodo, and the Rogue. And I'm just going to make my way down there to have a look. Alright, now as you can see, I've made my way to my hangar, and I have 4 of the aircraft that I've received and traded for the ultralights here. The last one that I received and traded my Dodo for was the Alchemist, which is in storage, and if I pull it out, you can see it here with me. Alright, and just to prove that we don't have to be afraid of any dead slots, and that this is the only way that you can accurately manipulate your aircraft slots without giving yourself a dead slot, I'm going to go ahead and purchase some ultralights and continue to fill this hangar, just so that you can see that I can actually fill it all the way up and I do not have any dead slots. Alright, and now that we're full, it's asking me to overwrite a vehicle. As you can see, it shows 20 on my count, and if you look through my list, I do not have any empty slots. Alright, it has allowed me to store 20 aircrafts, and I have unlocked all 20 of my slots now. And so even though I didn't before, I effectively receive aircrafts the correct way, and I didn't give myself any dead slots. And now I've decided to fill my hangar and unlock all 20 of my slots so that I can continue to receive modded aircraft and have a nice. And that brings us to the end of today's video, and I hope this will help you guys out and that you've learned something about how to accurately manipulate your aircraft slots. As always, be safe and have a great day, everybody. Peace.